So I had to take a sick day a couple weeks ago, which was kind of a bummer, but I thought, let's not let a good crisis go to waste. Why not document the whole thing to show how an integrative clinic can work? So hope you enjoyed this video.
Good morning. Welcome to my bed in my morning hair. You're probably wondering why we're here. It's because this is the only position I can get in where the world is not spinning, or at least where I can't feel the world spinning. If I'm talking strangely, it's because I cannot hear myself out of my right ear. I woke up this morning with vertigo and fullness in my ear. And if you've ever had vertigo, you know it is very unpleasant, but luckily for me, I work in an office that can treat this. So I told my wife I probably shouldn't drive the kids to school. Can you take them in? So she's doing that right now. So when she gets back, we're going to go in. She'll take me since I can't drive, and we'll see what we can do about this.
So our office is an integrative medical clinic, which means that we have different healthcare providers all providing their own type of care to the same group of patients. So we actually have a nurse practitioner and chiropractors working on the same patients. In an acute case like I had, it might mean that a patient is evaluated, they might be x-rayed, they might receive some type of palliative treatment, and they can begin down that path toward rehabilitation all in the same visit, and they don't have to go all over town. For a family, it might mean that the whole family can be treated all in one office, whether for wellness or injury or sickness or whatever that might be. So in my case, I had vertigo, which was a condition that might have multiple causes. So instead of going to multiple places, I could have everything done all at once. Vertigo is a condition that involves the loss of one's balance or equilibrium. And I like to think of balance as a three-legged stool. First, you have vision, which obviously comes from the eyes. You have the vestibular sense, which comes from the inner ear, and you have proprioception, which is really your ability to tell where you are in space. So it's proprioception that, for example, enables you to be able to close your eyes and still touch your nose or touch your fingers together without being able to see what you're doing. So one of the highest concentrations of these joint receptors in the body is throughout the spine, and one of the highest concentrations in the spine is in the upper cervical spine. So this is important because we need to be able to orient our head in space to track an item moving with our eyes, with our head, or both. So proprioception, the vestibular sense, and your vision all work very closely together. And as a three-legged stool, if you lose one leg, you should still be able to have fairly decent balance. But if you lose two, or of course three, then you're going down. So these are all the things that I had checked at my appointment at our office. The first thing I had checked was my ears because of the fullness that I had when I woke up. So Kirsten, our nurse practitioner, she looked in my ears, she did a head and neck examination, and her verdict was that I had a serous effusion in my ear. So there was actually water in my ear, which one cause of that could be a viral infection. There could be a number of things that cause that. But what she reported was that my ear was really too full of cerumen earwax to really get a good view. So after taking this hit to my Q-tipping ego, it was on to Sandy, our massage therapist, to have some ear candling done in order to remove the wax. And as you can see from my Shrek candle that I made, it definitely worked. Next was on to Dr. Mayfield for an examination. He did a test called the Dix-Hallpike maneuver, which looks at the semicircular canals in the ears. And we've got three on either side, and they're oriented in different ways so that we can sense spinning or rotation, whether it's as if doing a cartwheel or as if turning in a chair. These semicircular canals help us to sense that type of rotation. And if there's something wrong with either the crystals or the fluid in those canals, then we'll have this sense of spinning. So luckily for me, I didn't have any issues with my semicircular canals, so that took down one more possible leg on my equilibrium stool. So the next step was to receive an adjustment from Dr. Mayfield. Dr. Mayfield first adjusts my upper back in order to enable the neck to move a little bit more freely. Then the cervical and the thoracic spine both work very closely together, so those are important. And now comes the doozy.
I can feel you tightening it up on me. Oh man.
You're supposed to smile after that. You're on video.
That was stiff.
Now, Dr. Mayfield has been adjusting me for a long time, so he's a little bit less sympathetic to me than he might be to others. And I'm also married to his daughter, so there's that. Finally, another check of the ear and a steroid injection into my glute, and I was on my way. Now, I didn't, of course, have the steroid injection recorded because I wasn't quite ready to cry on the internet. And Kirsten was right. It doesn't start to sting until she leaves the room. And I think they do that on purpose. All in all, it was interesting to be on the receiving of treatment for once, and I was back to work the next day, so everything went well. Now, this is just a little insight into how an integrated approach in our office works, and we use this same approach to all of our patients, whether it be headaches, whether it be back pain, whether it be something more involved than that. We like to have multiple minds looking at problems so that we can give better care to our patients. If something here interested you, we'd be happy to have you as a patient. Just give us a call and we'd love to take care of you.